Welcome to the JP8 report. This is James Pierce with the JP8 report, episode 254. And just so you know, I live in area code 254, so this is a special one also. Hello to everybody in the 254. So welcome today, and I got a cat that, come on, move. Oh, great. Hold on just a second, guys. Gotta get down. You can't. There. Everybody will get mad at you. All right, I'm back. Let me straighten out my green screen a little bit. Those cats think they are in charge of everything. There we go. Okay, I'm back. So, man, I was just watching the news before we get started on the JP8 report. Man, there was a Oval Office briefing on drug prices and Trump RX and GLP-1s and I think it's called GLP-1s or it's Ozempic stuff. And then one of the guys from, I believe, Eli Lilly was giving a statement, and someone collapsed back behind the president. And then they cut away, and they just updated everyone and said that he just fainted. So, answered prayer, because I was definitely praying for him right when I saw it. I hope he gets better. He's probably dehydrated. That tends to happen a lot for people in those high pollutant meetings. But so welcome to the JP8 report, episode 254. This is the 6th of November. All right. So as we get started the day, since we're doing it at noon, welcome to the JP8 report. This is James Pierce with the JP8 report. Welcome and for tuning in today. So, as we were getting started a while ago, I was watching what do you call it? A news conference on the news. I'm sorry, I got a cat over giving me a hard time. A guy behind the president collapsed, and they said that he just fainted and nothing else happened to him. They were given a briefing on Trump RX and greatly reduced drug prices through Eli Lilly and Norvastatic, I think that's what they call it. And then everything's going to be covered under Medicare and Medicaid. At like $149 and $249 a month for a lot of this between oral and injected and stuff like that. Way above my pay grade. I know people will take Ozempic. I don't know exactly how much that stuff costs and stuff, but I'm glad. I am glad, and I got a cat over here. Get away! Come on, get down. Get down. She was going back behind my computer. But okay. So let's get started with the JP8 report before she decides to do worse stuff. Let's see. So before we get started, don't forget to follow the JP8 report if you have not already started following, and then give us a like with a thumbs up right beside that, and please, if you're able to, share and repost. Okay. Then at the same time, we're simulcasting onto Facebook and X right now, and we're trying to simulcast onto YouTube as a live stream also. So if you go over there to YouTube, I'm not saying you got to listen to it, just subscribe to it. So because we got to have 50 subscribers before we can go live. And just subscribe to go to, it's called the JP8 report, just like it's spelled up there all together, and put the number 67 at the end of it, and that's the YouTube channel for it. Just click subscribe and help us out, all right? Next is, alrighty. So my printer's not working right now. So this is our America 250 for this November 6, 1775. And doesn't look like I went live. Hold on. Well, okay, I'll continue on. I'm recording. It says from Captain Ephraim Bowen, Jr. to General George Washington, may it please your excellency, with great pleasure I do inform you that of the return of Captain Coit into this harbor with 2 prizes, a sloop and a schooner, or boats or ships, from Nova Scotia bound to Boston, laden chiefly with wood and hay, and with some cattle, sheep, potatoes, etc. The people that were on board with the papers will be sent to headquarters immediately. Mr. Watson will take charge of the prizes and will inform you of the particulars of the cargoes, which to our enemies would have been very valuable, but to us not of much consequence. You please to give instructions. Pleased to give you instructions in this affair. Oh, please to give you and as soon as convenient. Captain Coit's mainmast proves too rotten for the service. Have got another making, so don't expect him to sail again till tomorrow night. It is thought by the people that were that it was thought by the people here that the schooner will make a very convenient vessel for a cruiser, as she sails very well and has 2 topsails and might be lifted at the very little expense. Captain Martindale's men are not yet arrived, and the weather proving bad, I feel will detain him some time. I am your Excellency's humble servant, Ephraim Bowen, Jr. All right, that was the America 250 moment for 6 November. Hold on, let me check something out here. It says I'm live. Okay. I just probably got an internet connection problem here. So, let's go back to here. All right. So next is, here we go with the Dalmatian Burger Group here in Coppers Cove, Texas. They make homemade smash burgers and dogs here in, okay, I'm checking stuff as we're doing this, but they have all the ingredients are homemade, including their buns, and they're open from 11 to 2 and from 5:30 to 7 unless they sell out. They're in Coppers Cove on the west side behind Bush's Chicken, and I do tell you they do run out even in the middle of the week, because I went by like at 6:30 in the evening the other day, and they were already closed. So that's a good thing. So let's see. I am so distracted today, guys. Man, I hope I didn't mess up my live stream, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me turn this on right here. All right. So let's see. So on Tuesday night, there was a big election, as we know, right? And the Democrat Socialists of America We didn't know they were such a big thing, but they are. Okay, so they sponsored 18 candidates around the country. All right, 18 candidates, and 10 of them won. The 10 that won, is the most famous one is Zoran Mandami, right? And there's and he's New York City. Then you had Kelsey Bond in Atlanta. You had Denzel McCampbell in Detroit. You had Danny Noel in Carborough, North Carolina. You had Ahia Al-Zuba in Cambridge, Massachusetts. That's right beside Boston. You had Frankie Fretz in Greenbelt, Maryland. You had Aish Chugtai, Jason Chavez, Robin Worsley, and Soren Stevenson, and they were all in Minneapolis City Council. So, and there was 8 more that didn't make the cut, especially the one in Seattle, Miss Wilson, and Fatah. That is the guy that's in Minneapolis also with these other 4, but he failed out on the second round of the the ranked choice balloting scheme that they have. But evidently it worked this time, and he didn't make the cut. So in New York, they already have this posted at the DSA, Democrat Socialist America's headquarters. Look at this, man. You know, back in 1986 when I joined the Army, that's the reason why I wanted to join the Army. I wanted to go out and fight and kill Russians, Soviets. And now we're electing them to office in our country. That is a very concerning gesture that we just, hey, the election's over, he got elected, let's go on to the next thing. That's not what they're going to keep going until they achieve a majority of our country and then change it permanently. You know, Europe, to a point, has rejected socialism after they embraced it, but their country's forever been changed in the whole election standards of the country. Now, I said communism's on the march, and that's true. So Mandami, he said he has a mandate. He said that this morning, right? He has a mandate, and he will make it happen. And he's all for taxing the rich, and for free child care. He's for free busing, city-owned grocery stores inside of New York City. He's naming an all-female transition team. He has 5 members on it. Every single one of them are female, which is nothing wrong with females, but he said he will have an all-female transition team. He said this morning, Andrew Cuomo will never be mentioned by name again by him. And then, just so you know, he can't be the president of the United States. Okay? Some people think they can, but he can't. So that is in Article 2, Section 1 of the United States Constitution that he has to swear an oath to, right? But Article 2, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution says, no person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States. So, that being said, he was born in Uganda, all right? We actually saw proof that he is a naturalized U.S. citizen. So he cannot run to be president of the United States. And then, so like I said, I'm distracted right now. That and he also yesterday, in his acceptance speech, quoted Eugene Debs. I don't know if you know who Eugene Debs is, but he was a late 19th century, early 20th century socialist. He ran for president 3 different times and got beat 3 different times. But Mondami quoted him Tuesday night as saying, "I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity." And that's a socialist march song, straight from him. And then Alex Soros also said that he celebrates Mondami and the American dream continues as a socialist. We have to find, as a Republicans, a way to match the Soros machine dollar for dollar. George Soros and his son Alex, they have no problem dishing money out to socialists all over our country. They do it within the judicial system over and over and over again. And they're doing it with the House of Representatives. They're doing it with the Senate. They're just dishing out billions of dollars. They get their people elected throughout our country. They could, I bet, if they could fund a dog catcher as a socialist, they would do that to get them elected. But we got to find Republicans willing to do the same thing, match them dollar for dollar. Why is it all the rich people want to fund Democrats, and then Republicans got to beg and borrow to be able to fund their campaigns, which is a hard thing to do sometimes because people, there are a lot of Republicans that are B-type people, and they squirm at actually giving let's put it like this. A couple months ago, I asked someone that was running for office, give me a 30-second elevator speech. And he couldn't do it. Not prepared for office. That's one of the problems we're having with people. They they are having they're having a problem with their message, and we're having a problem finding people that can deliver that message. We got to get our act together, and then show, like the president said, we need to talk more about affordability to the people out there. That somehow the Democrats are trying to push the shutdown on us, the Republicans, in which they won't even vote for cloture to allow the Republicans to even open up the government so they can negotiate a budget. It's not happening. But we have to do better. We have to do better. We can't be infighting against each other either. I saw a deal on New York Post, I believe it was. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's thinking about running for president in 2028. What good is that going to do? Is she even going to break out from around her congressional district to run? She hasn't even never ran for statewide office, and she actually thinks she can be president of the United States. I don't think so. I don't think she has what it takes to run a campaign to get elected president. And sure, some political advisor, campaign manager, will probably take $10 million from her. Look, hey, I can get you elected president. I'll get you that nomination. And all they're concerned about is getting that check. And the candidate falls on their face because they're not ready to run for office. All right. Let's see. I got that. Man, I knocked out 3 sections. Okay. Next is about Jack Smith. Jack Smith, we now know that he executed a subpoena during the Biden administration to seize President Trump's duty cell phone, as the phone you use when you're it's the presidential cell phone for him. All the phone records that went with it, they seized it also. And this is from Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. During the Arctic Frost investigation, we found that special counsel seized President Trump's government-issued phone. This means the Biden administration turned over President Trump's phone to the special counsel, an unprecedented action. In addition, the special counsel subpoenaed all of President Trump's personal phone records, and we can never again allow this kind of weaponization in America. And I submitted these new documents to our partners on Capitol Hill, and I commend our FBI, our team, and the FBI for working diligently to expose this. Now, so cell phones with the president, when I worked for the White House, it was highly discouraged. But we know Trump has a cell phone, Biden had a cell phone. First Trump, which is the one that got seized, had a cell phone. We know that Obama had a cell phone. We know Bush had a cell phone. I know for a fact he had a cell phone. He used to drive us nuts with that. And now Clinton, I'm not sure if President Clinton had a cell phone. I'm not sure. I got there in 2003. Okay? Wait a minute. 2002. I'm sorry. I got there in 2002. I was there from 02 to 07. But yeah, so I was there pretty much for all of President Bush. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you if Clinton had a cell phone or not. But I know Bush did, and Obama did, both Trump and Biden did. Okay. But yeah, so we had logs. We had to log everything in and stuff. But when they call cell phone to cell phone, we don't have a clue, right? But he had those records seized from the government. And I'm surprised that even happened, because I thought that when a president left office, everything got boxed up and sent to the National Archives, and then went to the Presidential Library after it's built. So, I don't know. And did y'all know that Alvin Bragg got reelected the other day in Manhattan? He sure did. The guy that tried to wreck President Trump's life, and now he gets to serve another 4 years. Yeah. So, besides that, did y'all hear that Nancy Pelosi announced her retirement today to her people in San Francisco? That the evil witch decided to call it quits after 40 years in Congress. And she's 85 years old. She's from Baltimore. She was the first female Speaker of the House, and she's also served Speaker twice. She's the one that famously said about Obamacare, you have to pass the bill to find out what's in the bill. And that's where all the trouble started, right there. So the president, being the nice guy he is, said, it's a good day for America. That's all he said. The rest of it is color evil, because she is. All right? The filibuster, man, this is not going to be too long of a podcast today. Got messed up, got distracted a little bit. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, the Democrats want to keep the filibuster. So, obviously, the president said we got to drop the filibuster so we can make America great again and get necessary legislation passed. And he's right to a point. long-term issues is the Democrats going to have access to the same power that we have it right now if the filibuster is gone. Believe it or not, Jamie Raskin, he's a senior Democrat in the House of Representatives on one of the committees. I guess it's a budget oversight committee. But they asked him yesterday, do you still support lifting the filibuster in the Senate? And he wouldn't answer it. Well, back about 4 years ago, during the Biden administration, they were all about lifting the filibuster rule, and everything's taken as a straight majority vote. But now, since President Trump, and everybody's against Trump, since he's for lifting the filibuster rule, now they're against lifting it also. They want the status quo, all right? Because all they want to do, you know what? Trump should have just came out and said, I'm against doing away with the filibuster, just to see what their reaction would have been to it. And then I only got a couple more things. All right. So Prop 50 is being sued in California by the California GOP in federal court for violating the 14th and 15th Amendment to the Constitution. That would be the Equality Clause and the Right to Vote Clause, because the seats that were drawn on the map for this proposition created majority Latino districts in California. And as we know from the ruling of the Supreme Court was that you can't have majority minority districts at all in on your congressional maps. And evidently they did that. And the guy that, and I didn't write it down, the person that drew the maps knew that, because he stated that the Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee, the DCCC, told him to draw the maps like that. So with that statement, it's a good indicator they may have problems, even though he had a 65% pass rate in the state of California. That is a serious thing, and hopefully we could overturn that ballot initiative. That would be a good thing. And then yesterday evening on Jesse Waters' World, I think that's what they call it now, he interviewed Erica Kirk for a whole hour. And that was a very moving. I can't believe she didn't get a job with TPUSA, because Charlie Kirk he said, I didn't want to give you the job because I want to date you with the intent of marrying you. That was mushy. That was mushy. Y'all did notice that last week that Erica Kirk was at Ole Miss, and the vice president was there, and he gave her a big hug, and there was all kinds of stuff that was brought up about the hug, and they didn't like it. Well, they had some lip reader translate what was said between the two when he walked out on stage and gave her a hug, and then he said to her, "I'm proud of you," and then she responded, "It's not going to bring him back." So all these people, all these conspiracy theory people that want to make a mountain out of a molehill and say all kinds of stuff, that's what was said between the two. All right. No comments or anything on the chat. Well, I thought I had more news here today. They did say Turning Point USA is going to be at Berkeley next week. Next week, I think it is. Yeah, they're going to be at University of California, Berkeley. So they'll get a chance to talk with some of them. Let's see, what else? Do we have anything locally? They're filing starts for the Republican primary this Saturday from the 8th of November to the 8th of December throughout the state of Texas for the county and statewide offices. That would be in Congress and the Senate also, and governor, lieutenant governor. So the 8th of November to the 8th of December, I'm going to be hanging out with our party chair, Norm Mitchell, on this Saturday, even though it's my birthday. I want to help out some because I am precinct chair. So if you are in Copper's Cove, we're going to be at Little Tex from 9 to 12, and then we're going to go to Gatesville from 1 to 4 at the feed mill. All right, and then I don't think there's anything else. No chats. Thought I heard someone talking. Hold on just a second. I'll move my hat. See if anyone's at my door. I don't see anyone at my door. I got security cameras at my door to keep people away. I sure did hear someone. Okay. Hey, I'll get up in just a minute and go find them out. Okay. So if you're looking for me on I'll get better at this, guys. I'm using this Rumble Studio, and I get confused at it sometimes. All right. So you can find me on X at James Pierce Jr., and you can find me on Facebook at James A. Pierce Jr., and you can write me an email at the JP8report@gmail.com. And then, like I said, I'm on X and Facebook with a live stream, and we're attempting to get on YouTube, right? If you're watching this, on YouTube, please subscribe. Or if you're watching me on Rumble, which is my primary source, go to the JP8 Report 67, and that's on YouTube, and subscribe for me. And then come back to the Rumble and watch me, because no interruption like that. All right, and total free speech. So no chats yet. All right, so I'm gonna sign off today and get a better start for tomorrow. All right, tomorrow's Friday. All right, so this is James Pierce, the JP8 Report. I promise it'll be better tomorrow. All right, so I'm out. I'll catch you on the flip side.